Hello and welcome. I call the channel the Jungle Nook, and today I want to talk about photosynthesis as well as flowering and fruiting of our plants. In our homes, the seasons can be a little bit off for our plants as opposed to outside. Plants sense the seasons primarily through light, how long the days are, as well as the light spectrum at different seasons. And that's how they know when to flower or fruit outside in their natural environment. But indoors, those seasons can be off a little bit, especially if you're using grow lights, but also temperature. The temperature is also how a plant knows what season it's in. When I move my plants in the fall, the nighttime temperatures are a lot cooler than what they are in the house. It's warmer in the evening. So when I move my plants into the house, for example, I have some peace lilies right here, which normally put out their best flowers in the spring and sometimes a few flowers in the fall, early fall. But when I move my plants in, my peace lilies give me the best display of flowers in winter. And that's because I have grow lights that are on, pretty long, and my house is warm. The reason I'm pointing this out is I have said in many of my videos that all plants use the same nutrients and in the same way. But plants will use different amounts and different types of nutrients depending on what function they're in. I always recommend use a all-purpose fertilizer because they'll have all of the primary, secondary, and trace elements that they'll need. It's the primary nutrients that you got to be careful with your house plants, your potted plants, inside or out. Plants require 3 times as much nitrogen as they have phosphorus available in order to adequately engage in photosynthesis. And that's because nitrogen is what the plant uses the most of to produce chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is what takes the sunlight, light, and converts it into energy. And that's not photosynthesis. It's what I used to think it was. Photosynthesis is when it takes that energy and uses phosphorus, okay? It uses phosphorus to convert that energy into things like starches, sugars, carbohydrates, fats, amino acids, all sorts of stuff. That's photosynthesis. And that's a completely different function as opposed to taking light and converting it into energy. But when a plant is getting ready to flower and then maybe produce fruit or seed or something, it needs additional phosphorus. But you don't want to apply the phosphorus at the wrong time, because then you'll have too much phosphorus and not enough energy, because there won't be enough nitrogen to manufacture enough chlorophyll to be able to get enough energy for photosynthesis, and then you'll have a nitrogen deficiency. I'm just kind of winging this video. I'm trying something new. I've been doing it for the last couple of videos. Just bear with me a little bit. With our house plants, you don't want to add additional phosphorus at the wrong time. Ideally, you want to start giving it a little more phosphorus right before it starts flowering. But you're really not going to know when it's going to flower in the house. You can't just look up what time of the year does it flower, because a lot of my plants here, as a matter of fact, all of my plants here flower in the wrong season, if they flower at all. But what you need to do, or my recommendation is, wait until you see those first signs of a flower beginning to develop. Perhaps it's a plant where it's going to grow an individual stem that the flower is going to be on, or you start to see little flower buds just beginning. That's when you would want to add some additional phosphorus. You don't want to apply it at the wrong time because then you can be creating a nitrogen deficiency.